Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Comcast Sportsnet brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's Game 3 of this 4-game wraparound weekend series. The Astros take on the Texas Rangers. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Alan Ashby. And the Astros hoping to get things together in terms of a complete game. They've had good performances by their starting pitchers the last couple of nights, and then the game has gotten away late, Ash.
The bullpen has had its problems. Last night, defense certainly could take some of the blame on the ball game getting away, but one way or another, there has been an element that has gone wrong to cause losses.
As a result, the Rangers are 9-2 against the Astros this season. One more win will clinch the silver boot for them. Dallas Keuchel has other ideas as he opposes the young 22-year-old lefty Martin Perez of the Rangers.
Perez, just a youngster, 22 years of age, Venezuelan-born player, 4-3. He's pitched well for Texas to this point. Dallas Keuchel, the numbers are not looking all that pretty right now, but he has been abused a bit in some recent games. A couple of games as a reliever recently. His most recent start, actually a pretty good one in Toronto against the Blue Jays, worked into the 8th inning in that game. Martin Perez, though, a guy that doesn't walk many guys, although you'll see some hitters going out of the zone. His last 2 starts against the LA Angels of Anaheim, and that might explain some of the recent success. But Perez keeps the ball in the ballpark for the good part and doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. Dallas Keuchel, again, has pitched pretty well in recent starts, but has not picked up much in terms of wins, that's for certain. And his last 2 outings coming in relief. But that last start in Toronto was a very good one as he worked into the 8th inning, allowed 3 runs in that 8th inning as it kind of abused the numbers.
Chris Carter has hit a bomb in this series. He could be really about ready to explode. The Astros are hoping he can put a few more games together on top of that one. We'll be back with Bo Porter and Julia Morales on that topic in a moment.
Astros and Rangers get set for Game 3 of this 4-game series here at Minute Maid Park. One Astro woke up feeling a little bit better this morning. Chris Carter breaking out of a slump in last night's game. He went 2 for 3 with a walk and a solo home run. That's his 20th bomb of the year off Derek Holland last night. 20 homers are the most by an Astro this year, the most in a season since 2010 when Hunter Pence and Carlos Lee led in that category. Skipper Bo Porter was talking just as recent as before yesterday's game about sticking with Carter because he says he can change the game with one swing. He said guys with Carter's power aren't just falling off of trees. Well, here's Porter today talking about Carter last night.
He's in his legs a little bit better, and when he stays in his legs, it helps him recognize pitches better. It helps him stay on the ball and really drive the ball, and that was evident last night. And again, it reminds you of why you stick with a guy who possessed the kind of power that he possessed. Yes, do you want more consistent contact? Absolutely. But at the same time, you look at the skill sets and you see him do what he did last night, it reminds you why you stick with him.
Last night didn't come easy for Carter. He took a few days off this past week to work with hitting coach John Maley on hitting balls out in front of him. He said he was getting jammed and timing was off a bit, but it's still a work in progress for the power hitter who will be batting cleanup tonight as the Astros and Rangers get going here in just a second. Game 3, we'll have lineups and first pitch for you coming up next.
Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. And let's go inside Minute Maid Park where we had a nice heavy rain a little while back downtown. Astros and Rangers. And the Rangers are 9-2 in the series this year. They've won 23 of their last 28 from the Astros. The Rangers have worked their way into first place by 1 game over Oakland. After trailing by 6, they picked up 6 games in 9 days, and they've won 6 in a row. They're 7-1 on this road trip, and the Rangers fans have turned out in good numbers this weekend for the series. The series concludes, by the way, tomorrow with a 1:10 start. Special starting time for a Monday. Brett Oberholzer and Yu Darvish tomorrow. Airtime for us, 12:30 for Astros pregame live. They're waiting out by the home run pump, where they've seen some home run action in this series. The Astros fans hoping that they can put to rest a 4-game losing streak. And as they go with Dallas Keuchel for his 15th start of the year, the lineup cards are exchanged at home plate. There's Dave Anderson, Rangers coach, presenting this card for Ron Washington. In center field, it's Leonis Martin. The DH is Elvis Andrus. At second, Ian Kinsler bats third, followed by cleanup man, third baseman Adrian Beltre. Alex Rios is in right field with Jeff Baker at first base. Giovanni Soto gets the call behind the plate with Craig Gentry in left field and Jurickson Profar batting ninth at shortstop.
On the mound against those Texas Rangers, left-hander Dallas Keuchel, 25 years of age. He's 5-6 on the year. 4.96 the ERA. His last couple of outings have been in relief. Prior to that, actually pitching decent ball, worked into the 8th inning at Toronto against the Blue Jays and was able to win that ball game. Defensively behind Keuchel today, Carlos Corporon gets the nod behind the plate. Around the infield, right to left, Brett Wallace, Jose Altuve, Jake Elmore, and Matt Dominguez. And in the outfield, Brandon Barnes in center, flanked by L.J. Hose in right and Robbie Grossman in left.
Keuchel set for his first pitch. Martin steps out for a practice swing. And when he steps back in, it will be with a .278 batting average. He has 6 homers. He's driven in 26 runs. This is his 13th game in the leadoff spot. And the Rangers have played very well with him at the top of the order. There's strike one from Keuchel. Martin looking back at home plate umpire Chris Guccione. Maybe saying something to the catcher, Carlos Corporon. Bouncer back to Keuchel. Number 1 on just 2 pitches.
Apparently, I forgot to mention there are 5 infielders for the Astros this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Nice work by Keuchel.
Now Elvis Andrus, he's DHing today. Andrus is the everyday shortstop, but even Elvis takes a break every now and then from those chores. And he hit a home run yesterday for the first time since last September 4th. Andrus with a .260 average has 1 homer, 38 runs batted in. He had gone 557 at bats between long balls. Keuchel delivers, and it's strike one to Andrus. Andrus, a good man to keep off base. He has been a very good base stealer with 30 and 33 tries. That takes it to a 1-1 count. Keuchel, with that 5-6 record and ERA of 4.96, has worked as a starter and reliever for the Astros this year. And just coming off 2 relief appearances. Now gets a chance to settle back into this 6-man rotation. 2 balls and a strike. He does not have a decision in his 3 career starts against the Rangers, but in those games his ERA is 2.81. Ground ball to third. Slick play by Matt Dominguez, taking a short hopper and turning it into out number 2.
Matt Dominguez drawn in just a bit and takes this short hop, that in-between hop that third basemen have to deal with so consistently, and he just has a sweet pair of hands.
That's 2 outs for Keuchel on ground balls, and now it's Ian Kinsler batting. Kinsler had a couple of hits in the opener of this series Friday night. He is 2 for 8 in the series. Second baseman Altuve shading up the middle for Kinsler, who is primarily a pull hitter. There's strike one to Ian. That's the way the Astros are, and with Wallace well off that first base bag, he is almost halfway between first and second. It's in for a strike, and it's 0-2 to Kinsler. Kinsler has a great walk to strikeout ratio. He's walked 36 times. He's only whiffed 37 times on his way to a .269 batting average. Kinsler scored 11 runs in his last 12 games. Now coming inside, Keuchel gets strike 3 and has a very quick first inning. Kinsler shooting a stare back at Chris Guccione. Still standing as the Astros leave the field with no score. Rangers failed to score, and an irritated Ian Kinsler was left at home plate on strike 3 call. Now the Astros come up with Bull Porter's lineup card. featuring left fielder Robbie Grossman, right fielder L.J. Hose, second baseman Jose Altuve, designated hitter Chris Carter, third baseman Matt Dominguez, first baseman Brett Wallace, catcher Carlos Corcoran, center fielder Brandon Barnes, shortstop Jake Elmore.
And on the mound, Martin Perez, 22 years of age, 4-3, pitching quite successfully for the Rangers, 3.81 the ERA. And on road games, 3-2 to this point, but that ERA a bit inflated, especially when you consider how well he has pitched at home with that 175 earning.
First time the Astros have faced the 22-year-old southpaw. Robbie Grossman takes his first pitch, and it's called strike one. Trickles out of the mid of the catcher Soto. Grossman at 256 with 3 homers, has driven in 12. He's hit 351 against lefties.
A little stronger spring in that glove than Soto realized.
That makes it no balls, 2 strikes for Perez. Perez became the youngest American League pitcher to start a game this season at age 22 when he made his debut at Arizona May 27th. Grossman moves back. Robbie with a 1-2 count. He went 1 for 4 last night, drew a walk. He's hit in 11 of his last 12 games since coming back July 27th from AAA Oklahoma City. He's hit 400, 18 for 45. Bangs that one off his foot, and it's still a 1-2 count. Happy birthday wishes go to Jenny Krause today. She's watching. Her son Mark, of course, has been getting a fair amount of playing time lately. We hope it's a good birthday for
Jenny. He is the knuckleball hitting specialist.
Yeah, maybe he'll come off the bench and get a game winner today. That's a shot up the middle. Kinsler to his right. On to first base. 1 out for Perez.
Defensively for these Texas Rangers, behind the dish, Giovanni Soto. And around the infield, Jeff Baker at first. Ian Kinsler, Jurickson Profar is the guy featured there at shortstop. Talented youngster. And Adrian Beltre at third. Talented oldster. In the outfield, it's Leonis Martin in center. Flanked by Alex Rios in his second day now with Texas, and Craig Gentry in left field.
Inside Minute Maid Park, which has seen some nice sized crowds here over the weekend for this battle for the silver boot. The boot is on display here on the concourse. There's ball 1 to L.J. Hose. 237 for L.J. No homers. He's driven in a couple. And he's gone 2 for 9 in this series. Altuve's on deck. It's 2-0. The Rangers are romping on their road trip. They're 7-1. And they're 8-1 in the month of August. The Astros 1-4 on this homestand. They are 1-8 in August. Foul back, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. This is the final series between these two teams here at this ballpark. Monday, Perez defeated the Angels with 6 1/3 innings, a 4-hit, 2-run baseball, winning that game 5-2. He threw 111 pitches, 66 for strikes. Brings that one in for a 2-2 count. The Rangers signed Perez as a free agent at 07.
Well, if that's the bottom of the knees getting established early, that's a favorable pitcher's area.
Certainly is for Chris Guccione. Ron Culpa's at first with Tom Halling at second. Cuzzy is the umpiring at third. Perez was 1-4 for Texas last year in 12 games, 6 as a starter. L.J. Hose checked his swing on the call by Ron Culpa. It's 3-2. Hose was third in the International League in on-base average when he was called up by Baltimore shortly before being traded to Houston in the Bud Norris deal. And he chases that one. A strikeout for Perez gets him out number 2.
Good little peek at what Perez might like to do over the course of a ball game. Go to the changeup, off speed a bit on the 3-2.
His fastball has been a better pitch for him in the month of July. The stats were better on it. Jose Altuve's the batter now. Jose has not been running well with that quad injury on his left leg. There's strike one. He was not moving around all that well last night, but in the lineup again today after going 1 for 4 an RBI double last night. He also walked and scored a run. He shoots this liner toward the right field line. Rios lays out for it. It gets by him. Now Altuve unable to really sprint. Will try to do so. He's going to try to get to third base. Here's the relay from Kinsler and the tag by Beltre, and they get him. That was quite a play by Beltre at third, picking up that throw on the short hop. And we'll see it again as Altuve is thrown out. No score.
Against the Rangers tomorrow and Monday. Don't miss your chance to see the Lone Star rivalry for the last time at Minute Maid Park this season. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to get your Silver Boot Series tickets. Brownie.
Thank you, Julia. Jose Altuve tried to stretch that double. He was thrown out trying to get to third. So that was an exciting end to the first inning. Now Altuve back at second base as Dallas Keuchel faces Adrian Beltre, who made the tag on Altuve. And that relay from Kinsler was strong, but it bounced. Beltre at 319 made a good play on the tag. 25 homers, 71 runs batted in for Beltre. He shoots this one to right field. Ho's coming over. Ho's lays out, and he makes the catch.
Well, that's nice defense by L.J. Hose. We're starting to learn more and more about him. Got a pretty good throwing arm, and now going after the baseball well after struggling just a bit when he first joined the ball club in Baltimore. But this is almost the identical play that saw Jose Altuve wind up with a double and then get thrown out trying to stretch. That's going and getting it well, and that's really the tougher play on that glove side rather than the backhand side.
Now Rios takes strike one. Rios extended his hitting streak to 10 games as he played his first game with the Rangers last night. He had a single, an RBI triple, and a walk in his Ranger debut.
Back to that double by Altuve and getting thrown out. What's that old axiom? Don't get thrown out for the final out of an inning.
Yeah.
And that's what wound up happening. And as we watched Jose Altuve go from home to second base, it was just like what we watched last night. A guy really struggling with a leg that doesn't seem to be enabling him to run his best. But then he started to air it out a bit between second and third. It just wasn't enough. And as you said, Brownie, a very fine play by Adrian Beltre at third.
And Alex Rios picks up another outfield assist on the play. That's his 9th outfield assist of the year.
He hit the cutoff man well. I think what the Rangers might have seen yesterday is that Alex Rios, at least for the time being, is not throwing all that well, so they shortened things with Kinsler going out, and Kinsler made the strong throw from shallow right.
That's a strikeout. Number 2 for Keuchel.
So Rios goes back after diving and coming up empty, finds his cutoff man, and Kinsler with the one hopper, but that's a short one hop, and it took a fine play by Adrian Beltre to glove it and then make the play. But that's not the best of speed heading around first base. Then Altuve turns it on. It's just a bit too late.
2 outs, and here's Jeff Baker now. Baker has done a marvelous job against southpaws. There's a foul strike one. Hitting .304 for the season with 9 homers, 17 runs batted in. And Baker starting for the 3rd time in the last 11 games. And his numbers against lefties are up there among the best. .362. Fouls it back. That makes for a platoon at first base with lefty hitting Mitch Moreland. Baker started against Eric Bedard in the Friday night game, and he had a sac fly and 3 trips to the plate. Now, a couple of things about that out at third by Altuve. One is that Kinsler just made a marvelous play. It was textbook the way he had his body turn. You see there, he had his body turn, and that's the way infielders are taught to do it when they take that throw.
What you could see on that angle was Dave Tremblay bringing Altuve to third base. Turned out to be a mistake.
No mistake by Keuchel. He has retired 6 in a row. No score. History. August 11th, 1982. A rolling single in the 5th inning by Terry Kennedy is the only hit. Nolan Ryan throws a one-hitter, defeating the Padres 3-0. He throws 12 one-hitters and 7 no-hitters in his career.
I had the pleasure of catching one of those one-hitters, at least one that I recall, and the base hit by Mike Schmidt, 1 out in the 9th inning.
There's a deep drive. Chris Carter hits it all the way out to the warning track, and it's caught by the center fielder, Martin. One pitch, 1 out for Perez.
Now, Chris Carter certainly getting some better swings here in the last couple of games.
Jumped on the first pitch that time. Maybe a more aggressive Chris Carter would produce better results.
I've heard Bo Porter refer to Carter as staying in his legs, and I have no idea what that means, but apparently it works.
Okay. Matt Dominguez is next. Strike 1 to Matt, 231, 14 homers, and a club high 56 runs batted in. That's 1 for 6 with an RBI in this series. Kinsler. On to Baker, out number 2. And Brett Wallace will follow. Well, you try to stay in your legs, don't you?
I've generally done that throughout my life, but I haven't had the success that some guys have when they stay within them or in them. I think it's a family flaw that I'm involved with.
Brett Wallace at 222 and 9 homers has 24 runs batted in. Sports terminology has changed a lot down through the years, right?
Changes from day to day, I think.
That's strike 1. Well, players have always talked about staying within themselves. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, if you get outside of yourself, you're just not likely to be yourself, apparently. And if yourself is considered to be good, then you've lost all that goodness.
1 ball, 1 strike. We're getting pretty deep here. So if you're not staying within yourself, it's time to push back from the table. Is that the idea? Line shot goes foul. 1-2.
Depends who prepared the meal.
Yeah. Protect the children and give them baseballs. Carlos Corcoran on deck.
Give Mom the glove. She's the one going to get the job done.
Foul tip, strikeout. That's a quick first 2 with no score. 7 pitches for Perez. So glad that out there down the right field line, Mindy DeLuey goes on the left there holding up that sign, and her daughter Tara Ruring are really thinking about the injured HFD firefighters and their families from that Southwest Inn motel fire. 4 firefighters died on May 31st, and Houston Fire Department, of course, serves this community so very well. And they're thinking of Captain William Dowling today, who has a brain injury, and he had both legs amputated. Tony Livesey, who has injured legs, he's rehabbing. Robert Yarborough out of the hospital, and Foster Santos, the 4 injured, and hopefully they will be getting better very soon. Strike 1 to Giovanni Soto. And that's in for a strike. Dallas Keuchel working very well. Of course, the 100 Club does such a great job assisting the families and has been doing so. And you can continue to send in your contributions to the 100 Club. There was a concert recently to assist the firefighters, and there'll be more of those down the line. The concert was at Discovery Green. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Struck him out looking. Keuchel is fan 4 already.
Dallas Keuchel's doing a great job finding the inside corner here early on in the afternoon. The previous pitch was ideal off the outside edge with a couple of strikes. But you can see Carlos Corcoran pushing that pitch right back to the plate, and just great work on both parts.
Greg Gentry at 248 has a homer. He's driven in 13. Usually plays against lefties. That comes in and it's strike one. Curveball from Keuchel. Dallas doesn't use that pitch a lot. About 7% of the time he throws curves. Bouncer out to second. Altuve on to Wallace. That's 8 in a row. Retired by Keuchel.
He is challenging the strike zone with just about every pitch. And when I say that, I don't mean just throwing it down the middle. I'm talking about finding the edges and then working just off the edges. And working that inside part of the plate. Again, if you listen to pitchers and pitching coaches talk, they love to find a way to work the inside edge. But in reality, you watch a lot of games and strikes are not called in there and pitchers wind up on the outside edge almost all game long. Dallas Keuchel does a great job on both sides.
Jurickson Profar 243, 4 homers, 17 runs batted in. 1 for 8 in this series, 2 runs batted in. Profar taps it, foul. 1-1 to Profar, playing shortstop today to give Elvis Andrus a break. Andrus DHing. Young fan with the ball. Great to have Nolan and Ruth Ryan with us this weekend. Made the trip down from Dallas. Astros will be in Dallas soon. Bouncer off Keuchel's glove. It deflects out toward Altuve. Short hop. Oh, what a deflection play by Altuve. He got going, and that ball went high in the air off the glove of Keuchel. With Altuve completing a 1-4-3, out number 3. That's 9 straight for Keuchel.
Of the games from Astros GM Jeff Luhnow. Gotta love the Cal League. Give up 30 runs one night, 2 hits, and 0 runs for a complete game shutout the next. What a difference one night makes. And talking about Lancaster, where we've seen 30 runs happen before, but here's what happened last night. Kyle Smith, who the Astros acquired in that Justin Maxwell trade, complete game 2 hit shutout. Nice night for him. But the night before, you see it, they lost 30-8. Guys, we know a little bit about Lancaster and how many runs team can score there.
Yeah, there's a liner over shortstop. Carlos Corcoran leading it off here in the home 3rd inning with hit number 2 for the Astros. He jumped on the first pitch. Carter hit the first pitch of the 2nd inning a long way. And Corp, starting for the first time in more than a week, gets it started here.
Carlos has not been a guy to attack first pitches a whole lot this year. But jumps on one here, up and on the inner portion of the plate. Trying to get that batting average going in the right direction once again.
Well, Dave Clark are friendly there at first base. As Brandon Barnes bats. 242 for Brandon. 6 homers, 25 runs batted in. He's hit lefties well. 311. Rocked a long home run here Friday night. That's inside, ball 1. He's hit 3 long balls of his 6 against Ranger pitching this year. Barnes is 2 for 6 in this series. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. Brandon has 67 hits. That's tied for 4th among American League rookies. 279 is his home average. Leads all Major League rookies, tied for the lead in steals with 10. Elmore on deck. 2 balls, 1 strike. Perez came into this game with 19 walks in 59 innings. Bo Porter flashing signs there. The Astros have scored 57 runs in 11 games against Ranger pitching. In the air, and that's the right fielder Rios coming over, crossing the line, and whoa, he almost went past it for out number 1.
Yeah, Rios didn't appear to see this in an ideal fashion, at least right at the very end, but caught himself, able to make the play. Yourself in a new ballpark and you start looking at the seeds and maybe lose the baseball momentarily.
Especially when there's a roof in that ballpark. That makes it more difficult. Sometimes that light blue sky makes it more difficult. Jake Elmore takes strike one. 242 for Jake. 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. Let's see, where is it up there? Well, you're running. You're trying to keep an eye on the ball. Trying to glance at the stands and how much room you might have.
Trying to figure out your batting average after your last at bat.
Yeah.
The difficult things in life.
Fielding percentage, outfield assists, a lot of things go through your mind there.
Well, Rios has had a chance to change the numbers on all of those categories today.
Elmore looks at that one, and it's 2-1. Altuve, of course, we brought up the point, he's not running that well, but Jonathan Villar is banged up as well. He has a sprained left thumb, and the plan is for Villar to start tomorrow against Yu Darvish. Villar did come in and play late in the game last night. He pinch ran and stayed into play. That one gets behind Soto. He can't find it, and there's a wild pitch getting Corcoran over to second base.
That fastball in the dirt can be such a challenge. It leaves catchers just flailing with the glove, and that glove becomes an enemy to trying to keep pitches in front a lot of times. That's exactly how the Astros benefit with this one.
Well, 3-1 on Elmore. Elmore has hit .281 against lefties with 9 hits and 32 at bats. Elmore takes a walk. We didn't ask Bull Porter this, but perhaps if Villar were healthy, Elmore would be playing second and Altuve would be resting today. 2 men on, 1 out.
Isn't it amazing how this game goes? When you've got a bad leg or something bothering you, it is just inevitably when you'll start hitting some extra base hits. Here in the series, Altuve's hit a ball over the center fielder's head, one down the right field side that kicked to the wall, and he's been challenged to run like crazy all over the base paths, and it doesn't seem like the ideal scenario to getting that leg healed up.
No, it does not. And just when you try to nurse an injury, you have to bust it. Yep. Like he did. That's the way it seems to go quite often. Robbie Grossman bats, first and second, 1 out. Strike 1 for Robbie. Well, Robbie, since he came up from AAA July 27th, has an OPS of 1.127.
Been really good, and he's drawing some respect here. Leadoff slider.
Perez seems to have the ability to keep that slider down too, Ash.
Done it well. There, the changeup below the knees. For me, this is how you start drawing walks as you become a reputed hitter, a guy that can damage pitchers, and then they start pitching with all the secondary pitches, and you eventually draw some walks.
Couldn't agree with you more. 1-2. Robbie has walked often in the minor leagues, but that ratio changed in his first time with the Astros this year, and I think that's normal. I think for a lot of reasons. One is that major league pitchers have better command than minor league pitchers, and they do not tend to walk as many. Bouncer shortstop. Profile goes to second, fires to first, double play to end the third with no runs, a hit and a man left. After 3, there's no score in Houston.
Next big and bright Friday night, Astros take on the Blue Jays at 7:10. Stick around after the game for the best fireworks show in town, presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com for tickets. Dallas Keuchel back on the mound for the Astros, who's back in the starting rotation after making 2 straight relief appearances, and he said yesterday that he was willing to take one for the team. The starting rotation had a little shake-up, and he was willing to go back down there into the pen. Said it was a little weird when he got that loss in the 13th inning, but once he was told he was back in the starting rotation, he just got back into his regular routine and was ready to go today. Brownie.
And is he ever producing results with 9 up, 9 down through the first 3 for Dallas Keuchel? What's Orbit into?
Orbit's a fashionista.
Martin leads it off, showing bunt and taking ball one.
Orbit needed Julia's shoes right there to round that thing out.
Has Orbit been on a slenderizing program?
No, but the whole thing's sure looking better.
It's 2-0 to Martin. Martin has 10 bunt hits, and he's shown bunt in this series a couple times. That leads the American League. Around that time with a bunt look, he takes a strike to give it a 2-1 count. Nice tempo for Dallas Keuchel. A quick pace early in the game. It's 2-2 now, as Martin will be followed by Andrus and Kinsler here in the inning.
Are you trying to challenge this pace?
Yes. You like a fast-paced game.
That's a secret I've been trying to keep.
One hopper out to Altuve. That's out number one. Oh, our buddy Jeff Blum likes a fast-paced game.
He's no fool.
He'll be meeting you in Oakland Tuesday night for the opener of the road trip.
We'll do the Bay thing for a few and then head on down to Anaheim or Los Angeles or whatever it is.
As long as you figure out where you're going by Friday, you'll be okay.
The Pacific Rim Angels will be our opponent.
Elvis Andrus grounded to third earlier. He pushes a bunt. Keuchel turning and throwing to first. That is 11 in a row set down by Dallas Keuchel.
No panic in that play at all. Nicely done.
Ian Kinsler will be next. You and Blummer will have the matchup of Jordan Lyles and Bartolo Colon Tuesday night in Oakland. Bartolo is 14-4. His ERA 2.75.
That might not be a bad matchup for Jordan Lyles. Maybe a chance to watch a guy who just goes out and spots his fastball in the strike zone time and time again. Might be ideal.
You'll have a battle of the Jareds Wednesday night. Jared Cozart and Jared Parker.
Jared Cozart just continues showing strong stuff now in this rotation. 4 starts, all good.
Wonder if they're going to both eat at Subway and join Jared from Subway before that game.
An all Jared lunch.
2-0.
That can only be good.
Thursday night you have Eric Bedard and Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray, that sounds like a little bit of a problem getting your thoughts together. By the way, 5 starts for Jared Cozart.
Okay. That's top to third base. Dominguez comes in. Tough play here. Throwing on the run and getting him. Well, this is some slick fielding. And Keuchel is giving his fielders a chance with a quick pace. He has retired 12 in a row in a scoreless game. Is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Nolan Ryan went 51-39 with the Rangers from 89 through 93. Who is the Rangers' all-time win leader? And there's Don Sanders on the right alongside Nolan. Ryan Sanders Baseball, owners of the Corpus Christi Hooks, Round Rock Express, all-time Rangers leader in strikeouts. That's strike one to L.J. Hose in a scoreless game, home 4th inning.
I think I saw one Milo Hamilton in the booth.
Yeah,
boy,
Milo's
Nolan shows up and all the heavy hitters show up as well.
You know that. No balls, 2 strikes. Milo's going on Astros radio today. Hose struck out on a 3-2 count back in the first against Martin Perez. And another strikeout. Number 3 of the day for Perez.
These young left-handers are not confused as to what they're trying to do here this afternoon.
They are not. Derek Holland, another young left-hander, went 6 innings last night, giving up 3 runs, and the Rangers 5-4 win. Texas won 9-5 Friday night with 7 innings from Matt Garza. Altuve with a fly ball to right. Rios comes over. 2 outs quickly. He goes down on 1 pitch. Keuchel's needed only 38 pitches to get through the first 4. Trivia answer about the all-time strikeout leader for the Texas Rangers. All-time win leader, rather, for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, imagine that.
Charlie Hough, 139.
There are some dizzy catchers. Reading that figure.
There's Tim Purpura, former Astros general manager, over on the left. Chris Carter with ball one, so we have all sorts of connections down through the years between Astros and Rangers. Gene Coleman is working with the Rangers in the strength and conditioning area. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the way, Lance Berkman had a good rehab game last night at AAA. Carter takes, and it's 1-2 to Chris. Lance played his first rehab game at AAA Round Rock last night. He went 2 for 3 with a homer and 2 runs batted in a win over Salt Lake. At Dell Diamond, that's another strikeout. That's 4, and the low strike is there for these two left-handers. Hitters look a little perplexed. After 4, no score.
As the Astros take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Be sure to get to Minute Maid Park early, as 10,000 fans will receive an orange home replica jersey. Courtesy of Coca-Cola. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com for your tickets.
Those are big. A lot of people like those orange replica jerseys.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cotton candy.
Those are big too.
Yeah. Those are full-size cotton candies.
Might as well go all the way, Ash.
Yep. You going to go pink or blue?
I'll go a little bit of each. How about these two pitching lines stacked on top of each other? Perez versus Keuchel. 0-0. A total of 2 hits in the game and 1 walk and 8 strikeouts and low pitch counts. That's ball 1 to Beltre. Beltre hit that ball in the air to right field, and Hose made the excellent layout catch on him in the second inning. Beltre takes, and it's 2-0 to Adrian.
That's the kind of play you look back at when a guy tosses himself one of them no-hitter type things.
Ooh. Cabrera and Beltre lead the league in hits. 2 middle of the order guys. 2 balls and a strike. Very interesting. Beltre 147 hits, second in the league, and he's 4th in total bases as well. Dominguez takes care of that one. 1 out.
I guess usually you're looking at an Ichiro type, as if there are other Ichiros out there, but I have no problem with those guys who really are the best hitters in the game being the leaders in hits.
There's only one Ichiro.
You got that right.
There's only one Ken Griffey Jr. And they honored him in Seattle last night.
Did he come through with his speech?
Didn't hear what he said. Alex Rios is the batter. 8 ground ball outs for Keuchel. Ooh, that was impressive. Rios just swung right through that one because it was at 77 miles per hour.
Get your leadoff change up, and you're looking fastball to try to make this a 1-0 game, and that's what happens.
1-1 to Rios. Rios last year hit 25 homers, drove in 91 runs for the White Sox. He's not on that same pace this year. Slowly hit to short. Elmore in for it. Throwing and safe is the call at first by Ron Culpa. So Elmore just standing and staring over at first in disbelief as Rios beats it out. And that'll have to be ruled a hit. And that'll mean an 11-game hitting streak for Rios.
That's a rare first hit, and when you're talking 5th inning in a game, 1 extra little hop by Elmore. And I think the call was right. I think that Alex Rios gets to the bag. We talked about how Rios can run. He's one of those long-legged gliders, but he'll get down the line when he's putting out.
Just a little extra hop, as you mentioned, for Elmore. Gives Rios the hit in the 11-game streak, and now it's Baker batting. Baker struck out earlier. That's strike 1. It's a big part of playing the infield positions, that internal mental clock to know the foot speed of every hitter, how much time there is to make that throw. Runner going. Ground ball in the hole. Diving Elmore. He can't prevent the single, but Rios can't get to third either. Baker with a single, and it's first and second. One out now for Soto. A lot of times with a runner moving on the pitch, he will be able to get to third on a single, but in this case, a couple of things play into it. The ball was hit sharply, and the left fielder is close in this ballpark.
Yeah, just being the fact that it was hit to left field also will shut down a runner a lot of times. Well, the Rangers certainly trying to make the most of that first guy they get on base.
Well, a couple of ground ball hits, so Keuchel continues to get the ground balls. And now it's Soto batting. Soto struck out looking in the third. Rangers now have a 6-game road winning streak, the longest in the American League this year, a 7-game road winning streak by the Angels back in June. Foul away. There's strike one to Soto, so Keuchel can get out of the inning if he can get another one of those ground balls, but right at somebody. Soto has grounded into 2 double plays in 122 at bats. Keuchel made a good major league debut at Texas in June of 2012. Out to center field, a long run here for Barnes. Barnes still going. Barnes cannot make the catch. It goes out of play. And that's going to be an RBI double for Soto. 1-0 Rangers. Soto picks up his 15th run batted in with double number 6, scoring Rios, sending Baker to third.
Yeah, it certainly makes you wonder what happens if Jake Elmore gets the second out of the inning. Do things change? Of course, Keuchel would not be pitching from the stretch. You never know the answer to the questions, but game changer possibly with that little infield single by Alex Rios.
And that's been the litany of Astros baseball this year. One little thing happens in an inning, and then it can blow up on them. His ERA by inning showing you a 3 from the first 3 innings, and then going up to 5.59 middle 3 to 10.80 after that.
It's going to leave a lot of people thinking, well, maybe he pitched successfully in short stints out of the bullpen, but he's really been better as a starter than he has out of the pen.
Gentry's the batter. Infielders move in tighter, halfway for Elmore and Altuve. Also Wallace is halfway, and there you see it. Gentry hit a grounder to second in the 3rd inning. Baker's the runner at third. Pitch out, no squeeze on, and it's ball 1. Baker would have been able to score had that ball not bounced over the yellow line out in right center field into the patio.
Sometimes teams may not even be thinking about a squeeze possibility, and then all of a sudden you see a pitch out and you think, I wonder if we've got a shot right here.
Yeah. Ground ball on one hop. Dominguez checks the runner at third, throws over to first. 2 down.
Matt Dominguez has a really nice skill set as a third baseman. His hands are soft, and he has a good, strong, accurate arm.
The challenge for Astros pitchers this year, because of the 85 errors, the 57 unearned runs, and just the whole mushrooming effect of plays not made, is to shut off that spigot, prevent the big inning after this 1 run has scored now, and it's Profar batting. Profar hit the comebacker to Keuchel off his glove, up in the air. Altuve throwing him out. Profar looks at ball 1.
I was alarmed in, I believe, yesterday's game, watching Jurickson Profar, a rookie, highly touted rookie, just jog out down the first base line, a ground ball that he hit.
That does not get it done.
It really alarmed me, and I would think it would alarm the Texas Rangers to see the youngster do that. I'm one of those guys that Played under the likes of Bill Burton, who didn't put up with that for anybody. And I mean the best player on the team on down.
Well, that was the story when Cliff Johnson didn't run out of ball. And all you guys had to show up for a workout the next morning and run hard from home to first. Ground ball to shortstop. Elmore with the throw takes care of out number 3. And it's 1 run, 3 hits, 2 men stranded. Rangers 1, Astros nothing after 4.5.
Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning at 9:30 on CSN. Chevy Hometown Kids, where it's not about the score, but the experience, guys.
Yes, it is an experience of eating ice cream from a helmet, Julia. The experience we all crave. But Julia did not eat again before the game, Ash.
She's all about the workout, actually.
Yeah. And Dominguez 1-0, taking strike 1.
I love the strike zone from Chris Guccione today. Ball at the bottom of the knees. Yeah, I like it.
I don't think the hitters do very much from their reactions.
I think a quick adjustment is needed.
1 ball, 1 strike from Perez. The Astros had the lead by 1 through 7 innings last night, 4-3, but they lost the game. That was the 13th time they've lost a game they led going into the 8th inning this year. And that is tops in the majors. Trying for a bounce back day. 2 balls and a strike. And they've lost the last 8 games facing rookie starting pitchers. That missed, and it's 3 balls and a strike to Domingo. Furthermore, the Astros have lost 6 straight 1-run games, so they've got a lot of streaks they'd like to put a halt to very soon.
I don't think it's anything unique to this sport. I think in any sport you can think of, when you start losing, when you lead throughout a great effort throughout the majority of the ball game and then you lose late, it's tough to take.
It really is.
Well, Porter's not pleased with the strike zone.
No, and Chris Guccione has flipped up the mask.
That's a little lower than what we've seen, but I think you want to be careful when your own pitcher is benefiting from a similar strike zone that you don't upset the card.
Strikeout number 5. 3 have been called.
And that's a strike. Right there at the knees. Watch the front of the plate at the knee. That's the top of the knee.
Now Brett Wallace, he struck out swinging in the second inning. That's strike 1 to Brett.
My opinion is we've gotten lulled into seeing where catchers catch pitches and seeing them called balls in that same area, when in reality, when you look from that side at the front end of the plate, pitches easily at the knees.
No balls, 2 strikes. Perez is shooting for win number 5. Foul away, 0-2. Well, if he goes 6 innings today, the Rangers starters will have pitched 700 innings this year as a group. Detroit and Boston's starting pitchers are the only 2 above 700 so far. So we're getting a theme here of the best teams and starting pitchers pitching more innings, and that would stand to reason. 1 and 2. The Rangers also have an excellent bullpen, though. So they're just good all the way around on the mound. They have the 4th best ERA in the American League, 3.68.
One thing that oftentimes will show itself is that teams that have really good bullpens are getting helped by their starting staff as well. Not always true, but a lot of times they can go hand in hand.
Joe Nathan came in last night for his 34th save. They have a good setup group in front of Joe. Wallace hits a foul ball. It was fielded as if it looked fair, but it had been called foul by Ron Culpa, so kind of strange. Let's see if we can pick something up on this.
That certainly was fair at the bag, it appeared, but
yeah,
I'm not sure why this was called foul. Let me see. Oh, no, okay. Foul at the bag. I'm
it was
sorry.
foul. No mea culpa there for Ron.
I got a bad peek.
You saw it there. We all get bad peeks, don't we?
So you're going to acknowledge that
you can,
at this stage of life.
Well, you know, a lot of older guys have bad peaks. Still 1-2 on Wallace.
I am momentarily disturbed.
That one hit him right in the back. So Perez, who's walked one, now has hit a batter, his second hit batsman of the season, and he'll face Carlos Corcoran next.
Sometimes when you're facing a left-hander that just has you, you say thank you to this, although you wait until you can actually breathe.
Yeah, your ribs might not be saying thank you.
Yeah.
Wallace on at first. Corcoran hit the first pitch for a single over shortstop in the third inning. And Jason Castro, who's been on a home run rampage, hit that long shot in the second inning Friday night. That was the longest home run in this ballpark this year. So he and Corcoran have combined for more homers than any Astros catching duo. And there's a fly ball to right field. Rios waiting. Rios taking care of it. They have combined for 18 home runs, and that's 4 behind the club record of 22 that was set in 2000. It's out number 2, and now it's Barnes. Brandon fouled out to the right fielder Rios in the third inning.
Carlos Corcoran was doing a pretty nice job of summing up frustration there with body language.
It's just hard to escape in this game of baseball. Tough stretches of ball games. The Astros 1-8 in August, having the lead in several of those losses. Barnes takes ball 1. There's no week in between games to regroup mentally. It's 2 hours later, time to play ball. Now 2-0 to Barnes.
And I think one of the best things you can do, like today, no batting practice on the field, either team. No doubt a lot of guys were hitting back underneath, but get yourself a little bit of a breather and get away from it for a few moments.
Now a guy like Eric Young would be playing Michael Jackson music.
He'd be working on wind sprints with headphones on with Michael Jackson going on.
It's 3 balls, no strikes.
It would be Pavarotti and a little bit of a long distance run going on.
Not anymore, pal. We've had that long distance drive home though a few nights on this homestand.
Working on the backhand on your tennis game.
Please avoid US 290 at all costs if you're driving around the Houston area.
2 nights ago, it was very offensive.
Not a good place to be. It's 3 balls and a strike to Brandon Barnes.
Thanks to your report, I avoided that last night. It probably was crystal clear, but
oh yeah. Let's see if Brandon gets something to hit here on 3-1. That's ball 4. Second walk for Perez, who hit Wallace earlier in the inning and now faces Elmore, and Ron Washington is going out. Let's see what's going on here. Milo Hamilton, Brian T. Smith behind him shaking hands, Crawford Jones behind them, Robert Ford on the right, Steve Sparks on the left. A full group there in Astros radio.
Is Crawford turning the dials now?
I think he is turning the dials. Did Milo take his chair home? That used to be in the radio booth. Yeah, that's the one from Mattress Mac, Gallery Furniture. Sure he did. And there's Don Sanders in the back. So they're broadcasting to quite an audience, not only out over the airwaves, but also there in the booth. As Elmore settles in, Elmore with a walk in the third, then was erased on a double play ball. hopper, Beltre. And he's going to play a little game and tag Wallace. And it's no runs, no hits, 2 men left after 5. 1-0 Rangers.
To introduce you to our progressive fan of the game, this is Izzy. Izzy, tell us how old you are and what grade you're going into.
I'm 6.5.
What grade?
I'm going into first grade.
First grade. That's a fun one. Okay, tell me what you've been doing this summer. School hasn't started yet. What have you been up to?
I went to Jellystone Park, and it has pretty much lots of slides, and there's water park, and it's really fun, and I like it there.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Here's your progressive bag, sweetie. Enjoy the game. Brownie.
Jellystone Park. Thanks, Julia. Now, Leonis Martin takes strike 1.
I feel like I'm missing out. Where is Jellystone Park?
It's in Wyoming.
Well, seems like a bit of a commute.
No balls, 2 strikes. I have no idea where Jellystone Park is. I thought that was where the Fresno Trappers played. Yogi Berra.
Yeah, back in the Yogi Berra days, I knew where it was. It was on my TV, but
Martin.
These days, I have no clue.
No. That's number 5 for Keuchel. And Keuchel has thrown 100 or fewer pitches in 26 of his 30 career starts. But he doesn't need to throw 100 if he pitches like this. We'll go deep into this game if this continues.
There's officially no dirt left in the cleats of that shoe.
Elvis Andrus lays off, and there's ball 1 to Andrus. He's 0 for 2. Would it take him about 5 seconds between pitches there?
You know, I absolutely love the pacing. Generally, it's great for the defense. Didn't work out so much here in the 5th inning today, but yeah, this has been great work.
Elmore, short hop play. A throw off Wallace's mitt, safe at first.
What did I just say about the defense?
Check that.
Well, you know, the throw was high, but it was still catchable. This is kind of a both ends head scratcher here.
Ruled an error on Elmore, his 7th.
So the play's made right there. A little bit of a high toss, but Wallace tried to stay on the bag throughout.
Yeah, so he could have jumped and still come down and gotten the out, is what you're saying.
Even
right?
if you bring that left foot back toward the bag and try to extend your height a little bit, probably would be helpful.
Yogi Berra's Jellystone Park is in Waller, Texas.
I got a feeling there was a local version.
Ian Kinsler's 0 for 2. There's strike 1. Ever been to Waller?
Oh, yeah.
Don't speed when you go through there.
No. Isn't that kind of the area where Art Howe is living these days?
I think it is. I think Art is behind that local police enforcement of the speed limit.
I think he is the occasional traffic enforcer out there. Ran into Artie the other day.
And Waller?
Didn't have the badge on. We were mixing in, kind of hitting a few golf balls, and Artie asked me to send a hello to Ron Washington, skipper of the Texas Rangers.
Have you done that?
Which I have failed to do to this point.
You have certainly been a laggard during this series.
I'm counting on you not letting Artie know how I have failed him.
It's because of all the hours you've spent on 290 getting home that you haven't been able to see Wash.
That's been problematic.
Wash is an interesting study, isn't he? Very popular guy. Players love him. He can be tough. Generally, though, he just lets people play. Likes to be aggressive. His clubs have been aggressive, and they were 6 behind Oakland, but since then they've been playing like crazy.
I think you're right. I think Ron Washington is that player's manager, and had himself some very good players through the years, which can help any skip.
And now his club is traded for Matt Garza and Alex Rios. They brought up Neil Cox from AAA to bolster the bullpen.
Useful, useful, and useful.
Yeah. Strike makes it 2-2. The Astros have 2 series remaining in Arlington. They'll be playing the Rangers there August 19th through 21st and September 23rd through 25th. 30 steals for Andrus, and he's been caught only 3 times, 91% successful.
Now, if Keuchel continues the little slide step, he'll cut down on the chances of a successful stolen base here.
That's what he's done recently. He's cut down. Now 3-2, and the runner may be moving here. Keuchel allowed 12 steals in his first 21 career starts, only 1 in 9 starts since then.
Ian Kinsler is not at all into that nibbling mode right now. He does not want to bite outside of the strike zone.
Well, he knows the strike zone well.
He's been good at it. He's a guy that has shown pop in the past and ability to draw walks.
Andrus is going. Fly ball to center field, backing up Barnes. Now Barnes back in for the catch. 2 outs.
I think going on that 3-2, Elvis Andrus has to realize that the jump was not a good one at all.
No.
Dallas Keuchel does a terrific job.
Adrian Beltre will be the batter. He's fly to right on the fine catch by Hose, who laid out for it and grounded to third. Rangers have really dominated the Astros. 28 of their last 35 from Houston for an .800 winning percentage over that stretch, the best in baseball for one team against an opponent. Beltre looks at ball 1. Rangers feel that this is their time to try to stretch it out and put more room between themselves and Oakland, though. They have done very well within the AL West. In fact, their record is 35-14, and no other team has done that well within its division. Winningest manager in Texas Rangers history, and also the one with the best winning percentage among those who managed any decent number of games. Throw to first. The Tigers have a great winning percentage in the AL Central. Let's see what's happening here. The Rangers 11-1. Oakland only 17-18 against the West. That's a telling statistic, Ash.
Surprising on top of that, because the Oakland A's have dominated the Houston Astros.
And the Angels 18-33. The Astros are 15-33 against the AL West. Beltre leans back. It's ball 2. That makes it a 2-0 count. Rangers are in a stretch now, 13-14 and 19-22 against AL West opponents. And they just feel that this is their time. Their schedule will get tougher in September than it is during the next few weeks. 13 career homers for Beltre against the Astros. Big 2-0 pitch is coming to him next. Runner leaves early, and it's a foul pop. Wallace going over, and it's out of play. Beltre wound up on his right knee. He frequently does that. He has a big swing, and he'll drop down to that right knee.
A little bit of the right hand hitting Reggie Jackson of old. Reggie would drop to that back knee. He didn't go into the leg lift routine there like that, but
it's hard to beat out infield hits with that style.
Yeah, that's not quick out of the blocks. Now, some guys would actually take some heat for taking that kind of swing. Other guys like Beltre have earned the right, I guess.
Line to right field, a hit. Andrus jogging to second base on the single by Beltre. Hit number 4 for the Rangers. 2 men on for Rios.
Pitch him away, leave that right side open, and a hitter of the quality of Adrian Beltre is likely to just shoot in that direction.
Doug Brocail has some advice here. Rios coming up. Rios reached on the infield hit to shortstop and scored the run in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. So rather than let this inning spiral out of control, Doug tries with his preemptive visit to pass along some ideas.
You know what I've heard most in a scenario like this is, you have been really good today. Continue what you've been doing. Can't do it any better, and I have no advice to make you better. That's my opinion about the way Keuchel has pitched. Maybe a little advice on the upcoming hitter, Alex Rios, a guy that Keuchel and teammates have not seen a lot of.
Rios has had hits at each of his last 4 at-bats with men on base. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 70 pitches for Dallas Keuchel. And now Carlos Corcoran giving signs here. Andrus the runner at second and Beltre at first.
Andrus is no lock to stay at second base.
No, he's not.
So I would consider, with the way Keuchel's generally quick to the plate, uncorking a throw to third.
That's ball 1. Rangers have stolen 87 bases this year. That's tops in the American League.
Texas Rangers, that slugging team you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Doesn't seem Ranger-like, does it? But with Martin scoring, well, stealing 27 bases. And Rios brings 26 over in his move from the White Sox, so their running game could continue for a while now, because that gives them 3 guys.
Yep.
Landers at 30, you can really steal. And Kinsler normally would be one of those, but he's 8 for 15 this year. Liner over first, up the right field line. It lands softly. That'll send Andrus home. Beltre to third. RBI double for Rios. And a 2-0 lead for the Rangers.
Right off the end of the bat, little flare soft liner that drops in right field. That's beautiful hitting for Alex Rios. It's also tough luck pitching for Dallas Keuchel. Really not much you can do. You try to make a tough pitch down and away. You do it, and the hitter hits it right off the end of the bat. And I said last night that Alex Rios, in my assessment, will help these Rangers down the stretch. Not that he's better than Cruz by any stretch of the imagination, but he's a nice fill-in and may leave the Rangers very pleased that they picked him up.
23 doubles. That makes it 2-0. The run is unearned. Baker the batter. Baker 1 for 2. Tap foul. Because of the error by Elmore on Andrus. If that play had been made, it would have been a 1-2-3 inning. So any runs that would score this inning would be unearned. Inside for a ball, that makes it 1-1.
Well, you can look back to the 5th inning, and the previous run for Texas really came about because of a play not made on a ground ball to shortstop.
One ball, 2 strikes to Baker.
Nice use of the changeup.
Called Jeff home run Baker a few times down through his career.
Well, against left-hand pitching, he probably deserves some sort of a menacing moniker.
Career slugging percentage for Jeff is about .500 against lefties. Not this time. A punch out by Keuchel. That's number 6 for Dallas. 1 run scoring on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 men left. 2-0 Rangers in the 6th.
Popular demand Friday, August 23rd is Dollar Dog Day at Minute Maid Park. Enjoy $1 hot dogs all game long as the Astros take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Top the night off with spectacular post-game fireworks. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com for your tickets.
There's some serious hot dog eating going on right now at Minute Maid Park.
Not exactly $1 yet, but they will be.
Check out that cool little dude with the blue glasses on.
Well, apparently he's seeing quite well through there.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 Rangers. Showing bunt. Bobby Grossman takes that and strike one to Robbie. Robbie is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball on the ground both times. There's that cool guy.
Dad, I'm having a hard time seeing what's going on.
No balls, 2 strikes.
But hand me back that hot dog. Time for a good old rally.
That's strike 3. 6 strikeouts for Perez.
Yeah, we talked about Keuchel working the inside edge early in the ball game, and right here, same thing goes for Perez.
A-Rod's on the board. He homered for the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Yankees lead Detroit 4-1. Home 7th inning at Yankee Stadium. Andy Pettitte on the mound. Strike 1 to L.J. Hose. He was struck out twice. Andy went 4 1/3, leaving after allowing 8 hits, 1 run. He threw 101 pitches. That doesn't sound Andy-like.
Not at all.
Kinsler over to first. 2 outs. Andy has a 4.62 ERA. Justin Verlander has given it up for Detroit. Still in the game.
What is wrong with Verlander this year?
Velocity down. But he has struck out 8 in 6 innings today.
Yeah, I wonder how concerned, and I imagine alarmingly so, that the Detroit Tigers are after providing that big contract, and now Verlander scuffling a bit.
Altuve to Profar, a quick 6th inning. It's only 6 pitches for Perez, and he's at 70 for the ball game. 2-0 Rangers. Rangers lead it through 6. Our Geico quote comes from Nolan Ryan on Reed Ryan. He has such an enthusiasm, a passion for baseball, that I think it's been a real good fit for him. If you asked him today about his confidence, it's much higher than it was a month ago. He's been a great addition to the Astros alongside owner Jim Crane there. Watching the Astros try to come from behind and win this one. With the Rangers batting in the 7th inning. Giovanni Soto to lead it off. Larry Durker joins the group over there. Soto had an RBI double in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2. There's ball 1.
Nolan's a magnet.
Yeah. All kinds of icons are here. That pitch missing for Keuchel inside takes the count to 2-0. Not a pitch count problem for him at only 78, and his mound opponent's even better than that. Dominguez takes care of out number 1. It's a good reestablishing game for Dallas Keuchel, who hasn't started since that game in Toronto. 22,922 the paid attendance. Greg Gentry is 0 for 2. He'll be up next. Oklahoma City lost at Las Vegas last night. It was 4-1 a final. Showing bunt, he misses. Strike 1 to Gentry. Jake Buchanan lost it for the Red Hawks. Gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. George Springer hit his 12th homer. He now has 38 runs batted in for the Red Hawks.
12th home run for Oklahoma City. What is that, 31 on the season now?
That's 31.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
George is hitting .317 for the Red Hawks. John Singleton was 0 for 3. He's at .215. Strike 3 call. Gentry caught looking. That's 7 strikeouts for Keuchel.
Watch Carlos Corporon. The glove goes from inside to back over the plate, and I'm not sure where Gentry could have thought that ball didn't catch play. You can see he said ball's inside. It's not a strike. And I would say take a look at the video.
Jurickson Profar is the batter. He's 0 for 2. Good breaking pitch by Keuchel. Comes in over the edge for strike 1 call. San Diego and Cincinnati are tied 2-2, and they are in the bottom of the ninth right now in Cincinnati. Off the plate, it goes to third. Here's the throw on the run. Dominguez, marvelous play. For a 1-2-3 seventh inning. Rangers 2, Astros nothing.
Nothing right now, and time for us to talk a little bit about the Astros farm system, who continues to be very good. The guys mentioning Triple A's George Springer hit home run number 31 last night for the Red Hawks. And take a look, a lot of first place teams in that minor league system, including the Red Hawks. Corpus Christi won a first half title, in second place now in Lancaster. We talked about Kyle Smith earlier in the show, who threw a complete game shutout there. Good stuff from these guys. And to take a little closer look into Quad Cities, Carlos Correa, the #1 overall pick from last year. Here we go, some numbers on him. They continue to be very good. His average 327, 8 homers, driving in 68 runs, 889 OPS, and very good as of late. You see the average up even higher, 447. 512 on base percentage. So good stuff from these guys as they continue, and their season's getting close to ending here, guys.
It is getting close. We forget that sometimes. Minor league season, 144 games. Glad you're on it, Julia. You won't let that season end without keeping us abreast of everything. They're singing Deep in the Heart of Texas right now, 7th inning stretch. Good day for the families to get out and enjoy baseball. It's 2-0 Rangers. Martin Perez has kept the Astros hitters at bay. He's allowed only a couple of hits. The Rangers have collected 5. Rangers have left 4 men on base, so Dallas Keuchel has been tough, and he's prevented those bigger innings when some plays have not been made behind him. And now if he gets some offense, he could be a winning pitcher today, Ash.
With some good fortune on his side, Dallas Keuchel would be locked into a scoreless ball game at this stage of things.
Yes, he would. 70 pitches for Martin Perez in 6 shutout innings. He's hit a batter. He's walked 2 on those 2 hits. And now the Astros come around for the 3rd time against him with Chris Carter 0 for 2. Ball 1 to Carter. David Rollins pitched well for Corpus Christi last night. Didn't get a decision, giving up 1 earned run in 6 2/3. Corpus winning it 3-2 over Arkansas. 1 ball, 1 strike, as Julia indicated. With all these minor league clubs doing well, we'll have a lot of playoff action to report when we get to the month of September for these Astros minor league clubs. Strike call there makes it 1-2.
It's almost like watching the same pitcher on both sides here. Nice usage of the changeup there. Both pitchers finding the inside corner, keeping the ball down. Basically putting the hitters on the defensive right away. If you're going to take early in the count, you're going to find yourself down in the count. Just a good assault of the strike zone on both sides.
And you called it early, Ash, that lower reach of the strike zone has been key for both these guys.
Hitters have had to adjust, and that's fine. And when we've taken a peek from the side, we've seen those questionable pitches, for the good part, were at the knees.
And Dominguez on deck. He's batting 5th today. Carter taps it foul in that 2-2 ball game. San Diego and Cincinnati in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mike Leake had a good start for the Reds, giving up 1 earned run in 7. Ian Kennedy gave up 2 earned runs in 8 for the Padres. Xavier Paul hit his 7th home run for the Reds. That's it for strike 3. And that's where Perez has been living most of the day. Strikeout number 7.
Not sure why this pitch is getting taken so steadily. Up at the front of the plate, that's going to find its way to the knees. And it's no surprise at this stage of things that that's going to be called a strike.
Matt Dominguez has grounded out and struck out looking. Indians lead the Angels 6-5 in Cleveland. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nick Swisher hit his 12th home run. Carlos Santana, number 13. Backhanded Profar. Profar with a strong arm takes care of out number 2. Well, that first baseman, Baker, yeah, he disguised it well. He was running off the field, and then when he got around the mound, he just threw the ball around the infield. That's good work for Jeff Baker. You know he's going to hear about that when he gets back.
He was just charging the mound to make this throw look more aggressive.
That's good stuff.
Look at this arm, though. It's a pretty good arm at shortstop.
Yep.
And yeah, let's take it on in, boys. Nice inning. Oh, they're going to make us get 3, huh? That casual look on the face, like, I'm not surprised.
2 outs, and it's Brett Wallace. Fouls it back, strike 1. Now, that's really not a problem with nobody on base.
Not unless you have to cough up the money that's going to be required in kangaroo court.
Slapped in the hole, and Profar tries this throw from deep in the hole and out at first. That's a jam by Jerks and Profar. And that's 7 straight set down by Perez with a lot of help from his fielders. Through 7, 2-0 Rangers. You don't want to miss Darvish and Brett Oberholzer tomorrow. That is a good matchup, Edge.
It's all about the initials, UOB. There you go. Yeah, Darvish, one of the game's best when he's on his game, and you see it with the numbers. Very, very good. And Brett Oberholzer hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity yet, but the opportunities have been seized to this moment by Brett Oberholzer.
Nobody's telling me he has to improve, that's for sure.
No.
Leonis Martin leads it off here in the 8th inning. He's 0 for 3. Stepping out before Dallas Keuchel throws his 85th pitch of the day.
Well, we said of Dallas Keuchel before the game today that in recent starts he's been good, and he's been even better today.
Gets a 1 pitch out there on the pop up to Elmore. He's been really strong today. Elvis Andrus will follow. He is 0 for 3, but reached on an error and scored run number 2 in the 6th inning on the double by Rios.
You know, may I say of the strike zone today that I think is actually just that it has enabled a ball game to move along at a beautiful pace as opposed to 3.5+ hours. And I think there's a lot to be said about it.
There's ball 1. What's the average movie time now? About 2 hours?
I don't even know if the average attention span reaches 2 hours.
Fly ball center field, backing up Barnes.
The NBA, even the NFL, ball games are much shorter than what we've been seeing of late. Create memories, save money, and have fun with Astros baseball, whether you're treating your employees, hosting clients, or bringing out your church or youth sports team. We'll create an experience your group is sure to remember. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit Astros.com to enjoy special pricing and great benefits by reserving your group or suite today.
2 outs, and it's Ian Kinsler batting. Kinsler fouls it for strike 1. He's 0 for 3.
Now with those suites, I think we're talking about good eats as well, right?
You know that. Braves 5, Marlins 4. They're in the bottom of the 7th in Atlanta. Freddie Freeman hit his 14th homer. 1-2. Check in on what Chris Johnson is doing. He is the batting leader in the National League, but he got tossed out of the game after 1 at bat last night. Line shot left. Robbie Grossman grabs that sinking liner for a very quick top of the 8th for Dallas Keuchel. 2-0 Rangers.
Here at Minute Maid Park, and MLB.com at Bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Astros baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at Bat to 31826 or visit Astros.com for details. Guys.
Thank you, Julia. 2-0. The Rangers lead. Martin Perez on the mound. Carlos Corcoran at the plate. Bottom of the 8th inning. Carlos is 1 for 2. Take strike 1. Tanner Shepard's warming up in the bullpen. Perez's longest major league outing was 7 1/3 innings. That was 2 starts ago against the Angels. gave up 1 run in that one. So his ERA has been coming down start by start the last few times, last couple times out anyway. Foul back, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Brandon Barnes on deck. Jake Elmore due to bat 3rd in the inning. Perez has retired 7 in a row now. The last hit off him came in the 3rd. The leadoff single by Corcoran. In Toronto, the Athletics lead the Blue Jays 6-3. They're in the bottom of the 9th now. 1-2. It looks as if they will be finishing their game soon, and then Oakland will turn into big Houston Astros fans for this one. It's 2-2. A.J. Griffin went 5 2/3 for the Athletics today against R.A. Dickey. He went 7, giving up 3 runs. Brandon Moss hit his 18th home run for Oakland. That's a strikeout, number 8.
Tough location, continues down and away. Have to really hand it to Martin Perez. Both edges of the plate, very good throughout the afternoon.
Young man, 22 years old, from Venezuela. His numbers were not eye-popping as he progressed through the system. They were good. In the air, and the first baseman Baker gets underneath this Barnes pop-up. 2 outs. Perez is shooting for win number 5. He came into this game with a 3.81 ERA for his first 10 major league starts. Certainly nothing wrong with that at all. Now Elmore, he walked and bounced into a force play. In St. Louis, it's 4-2 St. Louis over Chicago in the bottom of the 5th inning. Joe Kelly starting for the Cardinals today against Edwin Jackson. They've had a little media flap in that city. Strike 1. As Alan Ashby told us the other night, Albert Pujols very upset about accusations from Jack Clark on a radio talk show that Albert had been injected with steroids by a trainer. Ground ball goes foul. Albert threatened legal action. And now Jack Clark and the other host of the radio program have been released from their duties.
Jack Clark, one of the game's great sluggers of the past. But even that doesn't entitle one to make accusations that are not grounded in some kind of reality that's verifiable.
That's true. 1-2 the count. Jack Clark on those Whitey ball teams, the Cardinals in the 80s. Well, he was really the only power threat they had in that lineup.
He was the man. Of course, they had Willie McGee, who won an MVP award without hitting home runs.
Yeah.
But he played that Whitey ball, as you designated.
Ozzie Smith. Keith Hernandez. Quite a bunch of players and a lot of hustling on the base paths. A lot of first to third action, stolen bases. Line shot goes foul. Still 2-2. Twins and White Sox are in the middle of the 6th inning at U.S. Cellular in Chicago. It's 5-0 Twins. Joe Mauer hit his 9th homer. And Brian Dozier, number 11 of the year for the Twinkies.
You bring up the name Keith Hernandez. I thought he might have been the best player on those 86 Mets.
He was. Sharp single by Elmore. That's the first hit since the 3rd inning for the Astros. Elmore 1 for 2 with a walk. And he's aboard for Robbie Grossman.
Just lines one into left field, finds that hole. Jake Elmore can swing the stick a bit. As a shortstop, he has been challenged to this point.
Elmore's aboard. Grossman is 0 for 3. Minnesota has Kevin Correa on the mound. pitching a shutout through 5 with a 5-0 lead. Jose Quintana started for the White Sox. That's in for a strike. 93 pitches now for Perez. He threw 111 in his last start. Darvish tomorrow. Darvish has been hot lately in 4 starts, 3-1 with a 1.37 ERA since he returned from the DL. No balls, 2 strikes. And he had that perfect game bid. 1 out remaining in the 9th inning here on opening night.
Our opening night, it was actually game 2 of the season. Was
that's right. It was game 2.
Kind of an unusual start for us.
You're right. Matt Harrison pitched opening night. Still 0-2. Royals have the lead on the Red Sox 4-3. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Alex Gordon has hit his 13th home run. Justin Maxwell has come alive for that Kansas City club since the trade.
Playing well.
Lackey and Shields are the starters there. In the air to center field. Martin with the catch. No runs a hit and the man stranded. Moving to the 9th. 2-0 Rangers. Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. It was cloudy. It was raining earlier downtown. That's a good thing because we've been in a drought for a while here in Houston. The Astros are in a drought offensively. A lot of that has to do with the precision of Martin Perez. And now the Rangers come up in the 9th inning. The Rangers have a 2-0 lead on run-producing doubles by Giovanni Soto in the 5th. And Alex Rios in the 6th inning. Now it'll be Adrian Beltre leading it off here in the 9th against Dallas Keuchel. Beltre's 1 for 3. Takes a look at that pitch for ball 1. If Keuchel gets 1 out here in the 9th inning, at least 1, he will have the longest start in terms of innings pitched by an Astros starter this year. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's 2-1. Astros have had 2 8-inning starts this season. The last one by Jared Cozart at Tampa Bay, July 12th. His debut. 3 balls and a strike. Cole Porter, Doug Brocail hoping Keuchel can put up a 0 here in the 9th inning, and their offense can go to work then in the bottom half with Hose, Altuve, and Carter. Out to left field over Grossman. That one bangs off the bullpen wall high, and Beltre checks in with a double. That's his 24th of the year.
One of the few times today that Dallas Keuchel's fallen behind it all in the count and winds up coming in with a fastball elevated, and Beltre elevates it a bit more. You get in that scenario, and we've seen Astros pitchers in that scenario seemingly constantly over the course of the year. It is advantage hitter.
487 two-base hits, 6th among active players. Todd Helton has 580. And 6 hits for the Rangers. Alex Rios has 2 of those, an infield roller to short in the 5th, an RBI double in the 6th to right. That was not hit hard. High chop off the plate. Dominguez takes a look at Beltre. He's got him in a rundown, and he throws to Altuve, and Altuve will flip to the shortstop Elmore. Beltre's going to wind up in Bel Air, and he is out number 1 with Rios on at first.
This Little League moment will continue right after this. That's cute. And second time today we've seen Beltre involved in kind of a funny little play. He knows he's not going to get the call here. This was about just fun and games. And I'm a little surprised that Alex Rios didn't. Perfect music, yeah. Alex Rios didn't wind up at second base. This is not a well-executed rundown, although it was started beautifully by Matt Dominguez.
Five, 4, 6 play for out number 1.
Even Beltre has to smile about that.
Yeah, he does. That's Jeff Baker batting. Baker fouls it away, strike 1. And of course, the base runner's out anyway for being out of the baseline, whether he's tagged or not.
Are you sure?
Well, let's check. It's hard to say you're sure about anything when it comes to baseball, right?
Like Joaquin once said, you never know.
That's a ball. What did Cliff Johnson used to say?
I think just about anything and everything would qualify under that. Joaquin Andujar. What did Joaquin say? There's just one word to sum it all up. You never know.
I love it when people put that in print and they run the 3 words together, make it one.
Well, in today's world, I mean, you can get away with it. .com.
Joe Nathan is warming up.
I wonder what you get if you type in youneverknow.com. Let's all go to our computers right now.
You'll come up with something. Do a Google search for that, and who knows, you may be buying gems in the Orient or something. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This could get ugly.
You'll be setting yourself up for a scuba diving trip in Aruba.
I'll tell you what, you can buy yourself a nice T-shirt, the traveling tee. Dangerous.
Still be looking for any of those NCAA college football autographed jerseys on the internet.
Oh, gonna get somebody in trouble.
3 balls and 2 strikes. 101 pitch mark for Dallas Keuchel. Runner going, and the pitch is ball 4. Baker draws the walk. That's the first for Keuchel. Stay tuned for Astros Postgame Live, presented by MD Anderson, making cancer history. Runners at first and second now with 1 out, and Giovanni Soto bats. He's 1 for 3, an RBI double in the 5th.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Dallas to get himself a ground ball for the double play here. He has just been good enough today that I find that he's very unfortunate to be trailing 2-0.
There's just something about Dallas against Texas.
I think you've hit upon something there.
Well, he hasn't beaten them in 3 starts, but his ERA is under 3. That is notable against this club. No balls, 2 strikes. Maybe it's the fact that he's a native Oklahoman.
There's something inherently wrong right there in and of itself.
Feeling of the Red River rivalry type thing for him. Who knows?
Parents name him Dallas. That's just cruel.
Oh, and then he went to the University of Arkansas, so there's that rivalry with Texas.
He spread himself around, didn't he?
Yes, he did. 1-2. Have you ever heard him yell "Suey Pig"?
I have not. I actually try to stay away from that sort of thing.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Both Porter's club trailing 2-0.
We have a first on the afternoon, I believe.
What do we have?
Meeting at least toward the mound.
What is our consecutive game streak for meetings at the mound?
Well, as of right now, it would be, what is this, 117?
Okay, it's 118 games.
118.
That's strike 3. Soto's caught looking for out number 2. 8 strikeouts for Keuchel.
A lot of hitters very willing to allow Chris Guccione to ring them up today. Getting a bit of a high strike here is Keuchel, but very happy to accept. You can see right around the belt buckle. Again, our eyes get so accustomed to seeing areas of what might be the strike zone called balls.
Craig Gentry's the batter with 2 outs and 2 on. Strike 1 to Gentry. Gentry's 0 for 3. Keuchel threw 110 pitches here against Oakland May 26th. That is his high in pitches thrown this year. He's at 108 now. Last outing was in relief in the Boston series. Foul tip. And it's 0-2.
10 caught looking strikeouts on the afternoon when you combine the two sides.
Hitters have been well worn. These fans ready for an end of the top of the 9th inning to bring Jose Altuve and Carter to the plate in the bottom half. 1-2 the count. Rangers are trying to secure their 7th straight silver boot. And it would be 10 of 13 in the season series with the Astros if they win one more game. They are 9-2 against the Astros this year in a 19-game season series.
The furor over the silver boot seems to have died down here.
It has died down. You're right. Hit by the pitch. Gentry. That loads the bases for Profar.
Wound up being one of those hip busters that oftentimes can be intentional, although in this case Dallas Keuchel, from my assessment, that would have been the last thing he wanted right there.
Sure. Doug Brocail comes out. Profar is 0 for 3 in this game. Not much margin for error here. Both clubs have stranded 4 runners in this game. So is it a tiring Dallas Keuchel? 111 pitches. Can he get it together and get Profar to keep this game at 2-0 going to the bottom of the 9th inning? Gave up the Beltre leadoff double off the bullpen fence, and then Beltre was caught in that rundown. Jorge De Leon is warming up for Houston. 70 strikes for Keuchel, 41 balls.
I would say a number of the balls that have been thrown have been in that container that says I didn't want to throw a strike here. I wanted it to be just out of the strike zone.
Dallas trying for the first complete game by an Astro this year. Profar looks at it, and it's ball 1 to him. It's 2 balls, no strikes now. There are 2 other teams in baseball besides the Astros who do not have a complete game. Baltimore and Minnesota.
One of the reasons those slugging Baltimore Orioles maybe don't find themselves in first place.
Bouncer to the right side and past a diving Altuve. That makes it 3-0. And here's a bad throw to make it 4-0. That goes out of play, and it becomes 5-0. L.J. Hose threw that one way up the line toward third base, and it bounced out of play. So the Texas Rangers score 3 on that single to right field.
Just a bouncer through the right side out of the reach of Jose Altuve. Very unfortunate. But again, one of those 2-0 counts. Hitter's advantage, fastball in the plate. But I don't want to get cavalier about this, so I'll just be quiet about this throw. Just a hunch, but this didn't play out the way LJ intended.
That's his second error of the year. It's a 2-run single for Profar, and then the error by Hose allows the third runner, Gentry, to score. And then Profar to go from first to third on that error. Now Leonis Martin, and he's bunting but fouling at strike one.
You know what this is? A second straight outstanding start for Dallas Keuchel that statistically is going to look like he didn't pitch all that well.
Yes.
If you just look at the box score on Dallas Keuchel, the first impression might be, well, just another game that didn't go so well.
Very good point. Martin with a little line drive hit to left field, barely clearing the infield, makes it 6-0. Martin now with 27 runs batted in, scoring Profar.
Well, I don't blame Bo Porter at all for wanting to leave Dallas Keuchel on. He hasn't been helped by the defense a whole lot today, and this ninth inning, very unfortunate.
And now, with 116 pitches, he doesn't want to press the issue with Dallas. A 2-0 game, more of a winnable ball game when it went to 5-0 and now 6-0. That changes the complexion. Rangers lead it 6-0. We'll be right back. Until just a moment ago, and he is applauded for his effort today.
And well, he should be. Dallas Keuchel pitched way better than the end result numbers are going to indicate. He gave himself and the team a chance to win this afternoon.
Now Jorge De Leon comes in relief. And the Astros trying to end this top of the ninth inning with De Leon making his second appearance. Friday he allowed 3 hits and 2 runs in his major league debut appearance, and that was in 1 1/3 innings in the Texas 9-5 win. Elvis Andrus is the batter. Andrus is 0 for 4. Martin is not being held on at first. That's ball 1. Martin tried to bunt on the first pitch to him before he got that little single over Dominguez's head in a 5-0 ball game in the 9th.
Bad ploy.
That's suspect. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, that's just not the smartest thing he's ever done in his life.
I would expect Ron Washington to talk to him about that. Now, I'm not a fan of the code, but that would be one area where you're trying to benefit yourself, just simply number padding, while your team's kind of laid it on a guy taking up a rough inning.
Ground ball to shortstop. Elmore with a toss to Altuve for the forced play to end the 9th inning. A 4-run 9th with 3 hits and an error, and it's 6-0 Rangers.
Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPad. Download free today. What about the Droid owners, I say?
Well, you have to represent them, Ash.
Well, I just did, I think.
By the way, Ash, is it true that is you doing the flash dance routine in the Orbit costume?
You know, I don't know that I could do that costume justice, but it does look like one of my dance routines.
And they just took it off. El Grande. So we missed it. LJ Hose to lead off the bottom of the ninth inning. And now Martin Perez. The bullpen had been getting loose, but Perez is going to get a chance to finish. Hose is 0 for 3. That's strike one. Inside, it's 1-1 as Perez shoots for win number 5. Dallas Keuchel in 8 2/3 innings allowed 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, walking 1, fanning 8. Through 115 pitches, 72 for strikes. But those numbers, as you indicated, really do not paint the picture of the day he had.
No, he was sharp as can be, and again, I would contend that a number of the pitches that he missed the strike zone with were right where he wanted.
2-2. That was number 100 for Martin Perez. 70 have been strikes. Tremendous strike percentage.
If you need that percentage, ask me.
Nice of you to volunteer, pal. You only do multiples of 100. Right?
Yes, I did use my calculator.
Mets 4 in the top of the first at Arizona. Down to the second. Kinsler and Mitch Moreland just checked into the game at first base. He takes the throw for out number 1. Moreland moved in for Baker at first. Well, the Rangers trying to make it a 7-game winning streak. And they'll have one more game here on this road trip before heading back home to meet Milwaukee. And they could keep it running for a while. They have a 2-game series with Milwaukee before being off on Thursday. They'll face Marco Estrada and Tyler Thornburg in the Milwaukee series at Arlington. Jose Altuve looks at ball 1. He's 1 for 3, a double. Brewers are out west again today at Seattle, and it's no score. They're in the top of the second. And they're running up against King Felix today. That's in for a strike. That evens the count at 1-1 for Jose Altuve. Tonight the big matchup is Tampa Bay and the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles.
They go all the way, LA, huh?
Yeah. Little roller goes halfway between the mound and the plate, and that is out number 2. Soto makes the play.
See how Jose comes out of the box with this little swinging bunt. Now you can see he's still favoring something, and we certainly assume it's that quad muscle.
Now with 2 outs, it's Chris Carter batting. The Astros have been blanked 11 times this year. Texas has pitched 9 shutouts. Strike 1 comes in on the slider to Carter.
Well, I have to say I'm impressed with the young left-hander Martin Perez. No more so than that of the way Dallas Keuchel was impressive today, but a very nice day for the young lefty for the Texas Rangers.
Sure has been. 1-1. Mike Maddox with his pitching staff performing well. I still like what he's seeing from Perez, the youngster at age 22. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Astros have been stopped on 2 hits 4 different times this year. They have 3 hits today. And they'll try it against Yu Darvish tomorrow at 110. Fly ball left field. This one's got some distance to it, and looking up, does it have enough to get it out for Chris Carter? And he's into the home run trot. Number 21 for Carter. Gets the Astros on the board here with 2 strikes and 2 outs in the 9th.
Ooh, this could have been intriguing without that 4-run top of the 9th inning for Texas.
Sure could have. That's 54 runs batted in for Carter. His 3rd home run against Ranger pitching.
Actually a pretty tough pitch to turn around for the home run to left field. Down and away, and that's the way Perez has pitched most of his afternoon.
Matt Dominguez looks at ball 1. 0 for 3. They went to complete game shutout for Perez. Upset. 6-1 game.
Can Carter get to 30 home runs on the year? And if he does, what will be the impression left?
Right. Good.
It's been a bit of an up and down year, to say the least.
Strike makes it 1-2. Rangers have 2 complete games this season. One by Derek Holland, the other by Matt Garza. It's off the plate. The appeal went to first. Check swing call by Ron Culpa. 2-2 to Dominguez. Dominguez now the club leader with 56 runs batted in, 2 more than Carter. Last year the club leader J.D. Martinez had 55. Soto back to watch this one drift out of play. Astros years ago had a young Venezuelan left-hander, Carlos Hernandez. Oh, he had a bright future. Got hurt his shoulder. Running the bases. Comebacker, and that is the complete game for Perez, the first of his major league career. Washington's club has a 7-game winning streak, and Wash's club is 8-1 on this road trip. That clinches the silver boot for the Rangers, who are 10-2 in the season series against the Astros. And the final score is Texas 6, Houston 1.